When someone disrespects you, you don't need to stoop low to show strength. True strength is measured in how you control what you feel, not in how you retaliate. Respect is not demanded by shouting or arguing, it is projected calmly, with presence, with self-control. Every time you react impulsively, you give power to the other. Every time you respond with wisdom, you reclaim it. This video is for those who have already understood that not everything deserves a response, that provocation is not a battlefield, but a test of self-mastery. This is not about repressing emotions, but directing them, transforming impulse into strategy, anger into clarity, and pride into balance. Because whoever masters their mind doesn't need to prove anything. Their mere serenity already commands respect. Along this path, you will discover attitudes that can be practiced in real life, even on days when patience seems to run out. From the gaze that disarms the disrespectful to the silence that cuts more than any word. From the decision not to explain your reasons to the distance that preserves your peace. This video does not seek to change others, but to make you someone who cannot be destabilized. True respect is neither asked for nor negotiated. It is reflected in your behavior, and that's what you'll learn here. How to respond with wisdom when the world tries to provoke you, how to stay calm while others lose theirs, and how to project a silent authority that no one can break. 1. Look calmly. Most people do not know how to look. They only observe what suits them, react to what hurts them, and blind themselves when pride takes control. But when you learn to look calmly, you realize something powerful. Not every attack deserves a response, and not every provocation deserves attention. The calm gaze is not a sign of weakness, but of mastery. It is the gesture of someone who has enough control over themselves, not to be dragged into the chaos of the other. When someone disrespects you, their intention is not to dialogue, it is to destabilize you. They seek to touch your ego, steal your composure, make you fall into the emotional terrain where they have an advantage. But if you look at them calmly, if your eyes remain firm without anger or fear, you disarm their strategy. Because calmness disconcerts. The one who expected a counterattack finds a wall of stillness. And in that visual silence, you preserve what the other loses, control. The calm gaze does not seek to impose itself, it seeks to understand. It understands that whoever attacks deep down reveals their weakness. No one who is at peace needs to belittle another. No one who feels strong needs to shout to be heard. Therefore, looking calmly is an act of emotional intelligence. It allows you to see beyond the insult and detect the insecurity that originated it. That's when you learn not to take anything personally. Not because you don't care, but because you understand that the problem is not in you. This attitude is trained. It does not arise overnight. The next time someone provokes you, do not respond immediately. Breathe, look up and look at them with that calm that only those who no longer compete to be right have. Let your eyes convey something stronger than any word. You do not control me. That is the real victory. You do not need to demonstrate superiority, just stability. Over time, you will notice that arguments lose meaning. That people who used to irritate you now seem predictable. The calm gaze makes you an observer instead of a participant in the conflict. It gives you time to analyze, to think, to act from consciousness and not from impulse. It is an invisible barrier that protects your energy and, at the same time, a clear signal to the world. I do not lend you my peace. Practicing it changes the way you face life, because when you learn to look calmly, you also learn to live with it. Serenity becomes your shield, observation your weapon, and respect your natural reflection. The one who masters their gaze masters their mind, and the one who masters their mind has already won. Not because the other has lost, but because you no longer need to win to feel at peace. 2. Speak with silence. Silence has a power that few understand. In a society that screams to be heard, being quiet has become a revolutionary act. Speaking with silence does not mean repressing yourself. It means choosing when your voice is worth it and when the noise only drains your energy. When someone tries to provoke you, silence is not submission, it is strategy. Because in that moment, while the other wastes their control, you keep yours intact. The one who masters silence does not need to raise their voice. Their calm speaks for them. Their gaze, their posture, their slow breathing, everything communicates a strength that the aggressor cannot understand. Silence disconcerts because it leaves the other alone with their own echo. Without a counterweight, their words fall to the ground without effect. What was expected to be a verbal war becomes an uncomfortable scene where only one breaks down, the one who did not know how to be silent. There are moments when the best response is not a perfect phrase, but an absence of it. Wise silence does not seek to have the last word, it seeks to maintain the last calm. Because when you enter the dynamic of justifying or defending yourself against someone who does not listen, you lose. Nobody wins arguing with someone who only wants to be right. That's why the Stoics said that the wise speak little, and when they do it to build, not to destroy. Practicing silence is not easy. The mind wants to respond, wants to attack, wants to prove that you are not weak. But that's exactly where the lesson is. The impulse to respond is a trap of the ego. Silence is the reminder that you don't need to prove anything. You own your words because you know when to use them and when to keep them stored. That doesn't make you a coward, it makes you selective. When you learn to speak with silence, you change the rhythm of the confrontation. The other expects a reaction, a reply, an insult, something that confirms their power over you. But all they receive is your calm, and that disarms them. In that moment, you understand that respect is not imposed with force, but with presence. Because firm silence does not feel empty, it feels solid. Imagine an argument. Two people raise their voice, words cross like arrows. Suddenly one of them falls silent, not out of fear, but because they have decided not to continue playing. The atmosphere changes. The other is left exposed, revealing their lack of control. That's what silence does. It reflects the other's imbalance and reaffirms yours. It's a way of saying, without saying it, I'm not going to enter your chaos. Silence not only serves to protect you from others, it also allows you to listen to yourself. In those seconds where you decide not to speak, you listen to your breathing, your pulse, your thought. And there you discover what really matters. Not the offense, not the provocation, but your ability to stay centered. That's the difference between reacting like anyone and responding like someone who knows themselves. Silence does not need applause or witnesses. Its strength lies in its invisibility. While others tire themselves out trying to impose themselves, you strengthen without moving a muscle. That's speaking with silence, communicating from temperance, teaching without correcting, imposing without dominating. Remember this, the one who shouts at you seeks your attention, not your response. If you give them silence, you deny them what they most desire, your energy. And there you win, because the one who knows how to be silent at the right time shows that not everyone deserves their voice. 3. Explain less. The need to explain everything is one of the most subtle forms of weakness. Every time you justify your decisions to someone who does not value them, you give away a part of your power. Over-explaining is trying to convince someone who has already decided not to understand you. It's seeking approval where there is none. And in that desperate attempt to demonstrate your reasons, you end up diluting your strength. The one who knows who they are does not need to explain every step they take. They simply act, and their results speak for them. We live in an era where everyone wants to have an opinion on everything, even about your life. They tell you what you should do, how you should feel, why your choices are not the right ones. But there is something that distinguishes a strong mind from a dependent one. The ability to remain silent when the world demands justification. You do not owe explanations to those who are not willing to listen with respect. Your peace does not need defense. Explaining less is not arrogance, it is self-control. It is knowing that your energy is limited, and that it is not worth wasting it trying to convince someone who only wants to argue out of ego. Every explanation you give to a closed person is a surrender disguised as kindness. The next time you feel the need to justify yourself, pause. Ask yourself if that explanation comes from the desire to share or from the fear of being misunderstood. If it's the latter, remain silent. You don't need everyone to understand. Stoicism teaches that what you control is your intention, not the interpretation of others. You can speak clearly, act consistently, but never control how others will receive your words. Some just want to find faults, others seek to hurt you under the guise of interest. Therefore, explaining less is not emotional distancing. It is psychological protection. It is choosing to take care of your mind rather than satisfying the curiosity of others. When someone questions you with sarcasm, with a mocking tone, or with contempt, look at them calmly and respond with the essentials. If they ask you why you distanced yourself, simply say, "It does not do me good." If they ask for reasons for your boundaries, respond, "I need them." Brief, firm, real. Do not feed discussions with speeches. Clarity cuts more than 1,000 arguments. And when you learn to do it, you discover that people start to take you seriously, not because you explain more, but because you speak less. Every unnecessary explanation opens space for manipulation. Those who seek to dominate you do so through your words. The more you speak, the more information you give about what affects you, what you fear, what matters to you. Therefore, the wise measure their words as a warrior measures his breath before a blow. They do not react, they respond. They do not justify, they stand firm. Learning to explain less is not just a social skill, it is a way of life. It frees you from the weight of opinions and anchors you in your authenticity. You start to act out of conviction, not validation. And over time, you notice something curious. The less you explain, the more your word is respected. Your consistency becomes your argument. Your boundaries become your response. So let others think what they want. You are not here to clarify every misunderstanding or to convince those who do not want to understand. You are here to live with purpose, with calm, with firmness. The respect you seek will not come from your explanations, it will come from your behavior. And when you achieve that, you will understand that true strength is not in saying more, but in knowing when there is no longer a need to say anything. 4. Walk away without guilt. There are moments when staying is a form of self-destruction. Remaining in places where you are not respected, where your peace is slowly eroded, is a silent way of losing yourself. Walking away does not always mean giving up. Sometimes it is the bravest decision you can make. But many do not do it, not for lack of strength, but out of guilt. They believe that leaving makes them selfish, when in reality it liberates them. Walking away without guilt is understanding that you are not obligated to endure everything. You are not responsible for healing what another does not want to change, nor for sustaining bonds that feed on your exhaustion. It is an attitude that comes from self-love, not from pride. It means recognizing that your peace is worth more than habit, that your dignity is non-negotiable, and that your energy cannot continue to be drained by those who do not know how to care for it. Stoicism teaches that virtue lies in living in accordance with nature, and that includes distancing yourself from what makes you sick. Life is not infinite resistance. It is balance. And part of that balance involves knowing when to retreat, not with resentment, but with serenity, not with hatred, but with clarity. Walking away calmly is a demonstration of inner power because it shows that you are no longer seeking to win, but to preserve your center. When you decide to do so, the environment reacts. Some will blame you, others will call you cold. They may even make you feel like you are abandoning. But that should not confuse you. The guilt they try to impose on you is not yours. It is a reflection of their discomfort with your freedom. People who benefit from your presence rarely celebrate your distance. Therefore, you must learn to close doors without remorse, knowing that those who truly value you do not force you to stay at your own expense. Walking away without guilt also implies silence. You do not need to announce it, or justify it, or dramatize it. Just act. Take a step back and watch how the energy begins to order itself. Because when you withdraw from what does not value you, the universe interprets that movement as a sign of respect for yourself. And when you respect yourself, life begins to do so too. Do not confuse peace with escape. Peace is built from clarity, escape from fear. Walking away without guilt is not escaping, it is choosing. It is looking at a situation coldly and saying, there is no growth here anymore. And that phrase, though it hurts, gives you back control. Because no one can force you to stay where you no longer feel free. Over time, you will understand that the act of walking away does not erase what you lived. It simply teaches you to let go without resentment. You learn that not all battles are worth fighting and that dignity does not shout, it acts. You realize that true maturity is not enduring everything, but knowing when a stage has ended. And when you achieve that, something changes within you. Closing cycles no longer weighs you down, it relieves you. So if you feel that you are holding on to the unsustainable, let go. Do not wait for anyone's approval. The one who understands your distance respects you. The one who does not reveals their true place in your life. Walk calmly without looking back, because whoever leaves without guilt does not lose, they recover. And that return to yourself is worth more than any late apology or conditioned affection. Walking away without guilt is the beginning of your emotional freedom. 5. Hold your stance. When respect is put to the test, your stance says it all. You don't need to shout to impose presence nor yield to keep peace. Holding your stance is not rigidity, it's consistency. It's holding yourself up even when the environment seeks to bend you. It's that point where calm becomes power, where your silence transforms into a statement that says, you won't take me out of my center. In moments of tension, most people break seeking approval or get upset seeking control. But true strength is shown when you can stand upright amidst chaos without losing composure or direction. That stance, physical and mental, not only protects your dignity, it also communicates a profound truth. Nothing external can dominate you if you don't allow it. The firm body, the serene gaze, and the measured tone send a clear message. You decide how to act, not the other's emotions. Stoicism taught that character is forged in resistance, not in comfort. And holding your stance is exactly that. Resist without resentment. It's not about hardening yourself, but about maintaining your balance. When someone tries to provoke you, they do it to drag you down to their level. If you react from anger, they succeed. If you stay stable, they disarm. Because there's nothing more disconcerting than a person who doesn't lose their axis, even when everything around them tries to break it. Imagine a discussion where the other person raises their voice, crosses their arms, throws accusations. You, on the other hand, stand firm, not out of pride, but out of control. You don't back down, you don't get upset, you don't over-explain. You simply hold yourself. That stance doesn't seek to impose, it seeks to preserve. And that's what makes the difference between living defensively and living purposefully. Holding your stance also means not betraying yourself to please. Often we give in to what we believe just to avoid conflict, but every time you do, you fragment a little more. Consistency is a form of self-respect. If you know something is not right, don't accept it just to keep harmony. Peace bought with submission always ends in resentment. An uncomfortable silence is preferable to a concession that makes you feel small. Don't confuse holding your stance with being inflexible. Firmness does not exclude empathy. You can listen, understand, and hold yourself at the same time. The key is not to lose your emotional center. When your decisions are aligned with your values, the stance holds itself. You don't have to pretend strength, because strength comes from conviction. And when you live with conviction, you don't need to defend your position every time. Consistency speaks for you. In the most difficult moments, your stance is all you have left. When words fail and bonds wear thin, the way you stand defines your essence. It doesn't matter what they say, what they try, or what you lose in the process. What really matters is not losing yourself. Hold your stance even when the ground shakes. Because that firmness not only holds you up in front of others, it also reminds you who you are. And when someone sees that you don't bend, that your calm is not weakness but discipline, they will understand that they can't mess with you. The respect you deserve is not begged for, it's projected. And the best way to project it is to stand upright, in peace, with your head held high and a clear conscience. 6. Protect your peace. There are people who are not looking for understanding, they seek reaction. They provoke you, they push you to the limit, they throw calculated words at you so that you explode. And there, just when you fall into their game, they win. Because you lose the most valuable thing you have, your peace. It's not the situation that destroys you, but how you choose to face it. Protecting your peace is not a luxury. It's a necessity to emotionally survive in a world where everything pushes you to react. Peace is not defended with shouts or arguments, it is defended with boundaries. Those boundaries that are not always announced but are felt. It's that silent decision not to respond to what doesn't deserve a response, not to participate in empty conversations, not to enter battles where victory only means exhaustion. Learning to protect your peace is an art, and like all art, it requires discipline. Stoicism teaches that nothing external can harm your mind if you don't allow it. And that is protecting your peace, taking care of the space where your mind resides. People can talk, criticize, mock, or try to manipulate you, but if you don't give them access to your calm, they can't touch you. You don't control what others do, but you do control how it affects you. Every provocation is an invitation to chaos, and your task is to decide whether to accept it or not. Protecting your peace also means giving up the role of savior. You can't fix everything, you can't carry everyone's emotions. There are those who prefer drama because it gives them meaning, and if you get too close, you'll end up living in their storm. Keeping your distance is not selfishness, it's emotional hygiene. It's knowing when to offer help and when to withdraw so you don't lose yourself. It's not necessary for everyone to understand your decisions. There will be those who say you've changed, that you've become cold or distant. Let them talk. Whoever lives in disorder will always criticize those who choose calm. But the truth is that protecting your peace doesn't make you less human, it makes you wiser. Because you've learned that you can't build anything stable from imbalance. There are battles that are won not by fighting, but by walking away. Learning not to respond to every provocation is one of the clearest signs of emotional maturity. Every time you choose silence over conflict, you strengthen your mind. Every time you withdraw without resentment, you teach the world that you're not available for its toxicity. That's the real victory, staying at peace when everything around tries to upset you. Protecting your peace also involves reviewing what you consume, who you talk to, what you tolerate. Your environment shapes your mind more than you imagine. If you surround yourself with noise, you end up thinking in noise. That's why you should consciously choose your environments, your conversations, your connections. Peace is not found, it's cultivated. And to cultivate it, you need to be selective. Remember this, calm is not the absence of noise, it's the ability to stay serene within it. And when you reach that point, nothing external can break you. You become someone unpredictable, impossible to manipulate. Because the one who masters his peace masters his life. So don't feel guilty about setting boundaries, keeping silent or walking away. That's not coldness, it's self-care. Protecting your peace is protecting your mind, your energy, and your balance. And whoever manages to keep them intact, even in the midst of chaos, has achieved a form of power that few understand and no one can take away. 7. Master your mind. Your greatest enemy is not the one who offends you, but what your mind does with that offense. Other people's words can be harsh, but what really hurts you is how you interpret them. When you let your mind run free, to imagine, to repeat, to distort, you lose control. The insult has already passed, but you keep reliving it over and over again. Mastering the mind is not about shutting it off. It's about teaching it not to react to everything. It's the art of keeping the helm steady when emotions want to crash the ship. Every time someone tries to disrespect you, your mind activates like a battlefield. Pride shouts, "Answer back." Ego demands, "Don't let yourself be put down." But the soul, if you listen to it, whispers, "Don't fall." Mental mastery begins at that moment. It's not about denying what you feel, but directing it. Anger can be a useful force if you know how to channel it. But if you leave it in charge, it becomes a saboteur. The undisciplined mind reacts. The trained mind chooses. Stoicism teaches that you don't control the facts, only your judgments about them. And there lies the freedom that few understand. You can live in an environment full of provocations and still be master of yourself. What breaks you is not what happens, but the story you tell yourself about what happens. If you repeat to yourself, "He disrespected me," you will feel anger. If you tell yourself, "He showed his level," you will feel power. The words you choose to think are the ones that define your inner state. Mastering the mind is not achieved by reading motivational phrases, but by practicing. Start with small things. When something bothers you, don't react immediately. Breathe. Observe how your thinking accelerates. Look at it as if it were not yours. Ask yourself, "Is this worth my energy?" In most cases, the answer will be no. At that moment, power returns to you. You are no longer a victim of your impulses. You are the commander of your interior. Controlling the mind also means to stop feeding unnecessary thoughts. The more you think about the offense, the stronger you make it. The more you talk about it, the more space you give it. Strong people don't ignore what they feel, but they also don't give it an altar. They analyze it, understand it, and let it go. Because true mastery is not noticed in what you do, but in what you decide not to do. When you manage to master your mind, the respect of others ceases to be essential. You no longer depend on how you are treated to maintain your balance. If someone admires you, you thank them. If someone insults you, you smile. Not because you are insensitive, but because you know that no word defines who you are. You have stopped living as a puppet of emotions and become the observer who directs his own script. Don't expect this control to come quickly. It is a daily battle against automatic thoughts, old wounds, and desires for revenge. But every time you choose calm over reaction, you are gaining ground. Every time you decide to think before you speak, you reinforce your inner strength. And there comes a day when nothing external can disturb your peace. Mastering your mind is the highest form of self-respect, because when you control what you think, you control how you live. The world can be noisy, people can be cruel, but you remain master of yourself. That is true freedom, when nothing and no one has power over your inner tranquility. And whoever achieves that does not need to prove it. Their mere presence already radiates silent authority. 8. Be the example of respect. There is no more powerful way to teach respect than to embody it. Those who yell to impose it do not have it. Those who demand attention lose it. But those who act with dignity inspire effortlessly. Being the example of respect is not about correcting others, but about becoming a silent reminder of how a person who respects themselves should behave. It is to walk with composure, even when the environment is full of provocation. It is to maintain composure when everyone else loses control. Respect is not a mask that you put on in front of others. It is a coherence between what you think, feel, and do. When you live with that coherence, people perceive it. You don't need to say it. Your boundaries are noticeable. Your serenity is felt. Your energy is imposed. Not because you seek to dominate, but because you project balance. That is the difference between those who seek respect and those who embody it. One demands it, the other emanates it. Being the example of respect also implies having the courage not to stoop to the level of those who offend you. If someone insults you, you don't need to respond in kind. On the contrary, your composure disarms them. Your maturity exposes them. Those who remain calm in the face of disrespect demonstrate a superiority that does not need to be spoken. I'm not talking about feeling better than anyone else. I'm talking about being on a different level of consciousness. Those who master their character do not need to win arguments because they have already won by controlling themselves. In a world where everyone reacts, you choose to respond with presence. And that, although it may seem simple, is an act of rebellion. Society teaches you that strength is demonstrated by returning the blow. But true strength is demonstrated when you can remain calm, looking into the eyes of those who try to break you, and you remain yourself. That control is pure power, not the power that crushes, but the one that inspires natural respect. Being the example of respect also means treating others with the same dignity you demand. Don't fall into the arrogance of believing that calmness makes you superior. True respect extends even to those who do not understand it. It's not about justifying a lack of manners, but about not contaminating yourself with it. Someone with emotional control does not seek revenge, they seek balance. If the other acts with arrogance, you act with firmness. If the other hurts you, keep your distance. That is respect for you and for the other. Remember, people do not follow speeches, they follow examples. You can talk about serenity all day, but if you lose control at the first offensive comment, your message fades. On the other hand, when you act calmly, even your detractors are silenced. Because no one can argue with someone who does not respond from the ego. That quietness is uncomfortable, but it also teaches. It is a mirror that forces others to confront their own internal disorder. Over time, you will see that the respect you project transforms your environment. People start to measure their words with you, not because you threaten them, but because your presence demands consideration. Not out of fear, but out of recognition. And there lies the secret. Respect is not asked for. It is earned when you demonstrate that you are capable of maintaining your peace even in the face of provocation. Being the example of respect is to become a beacon amidst the noise. While others lose their heads, you maintain control. While others seek to be right, you choose to have peace. And when you live like this, you become a point of balance for those around you. Not because you are perfect, but because you master the most difficult art of all. Staying true to yourself, no matter how you are treated. That is the highest respect there is. Thank you for staying until the end of the video. If you watched the whole thing, comment, "I am Stoic," as our secret signal to know that you're a true student of Stoicism. Don't forget to subscribe and give the video a like if you enjoyed it. See you in the next video, and remember, keep cultivating your Stoic mind.